Hello, good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? Welcome to the second session of the School of Apprenticeship. Depending when you give it the name that suits it. Okay, today I want to talk about something that is very important. I've been reflecting and thinking about it. The day this consciousness dawned on me, I felt felt bad to realize the fact that nobody really cares about you. Truly, nobody cares about those your lofty ideas. Nobody cares about your viewpoint, so to say. Yeah, you can see people nod at your dreams, say yes to it. You can see people say, "Oh, we agree with you." You can see people say, "Keep it up." You might hear people say, "You're doing so great." But truly, most persons don't care, if not everyone. Most times, people start only caring when you start imagining. That is the truth. People only start caring in most cases when you start imagining. Now, this statement, as harsh as it may seem, no one cares about you, has the capacity to weaken you or strengthen you. It has the capacity to make you bitter. It has the capacity to make you isolated from other people. It has the capacity to make you vengeful in your approach to success. But it also has the capacity to be the energy that will fuel you to actually emerge. It actually has the capacity to make you understand that you cannot rely on the validation of people to take that step. It has the capacity to make you realize that you can actually achieve a lot without people's validation. If you really, really depend on people's validation, you're not going to go any far in life, because people will disappoint you. People will disappoint you and it will shock you. And you see, this whole idea, of always thinking that people care that much is the reason why we talk a lot about our ideas. Which is actually one of the reasons why most of our ideas have not emerged. We've not been able to transform them to things that people can feel and touch, and things that can bring about true transformation. The more you speak about that idea without actually going into work, the more you leak and puncture the container of energy required to bring that idea into fruition. The way I look at it is like the womb of a woman. The more you talk too much about your idea, the more you lose the energy required to incubate and nurture the idea. You speak to everyone about the fact that you want to create something new, or you want to start up a business, to get their validation, to get their thumbs up, so that they say you have a great and wonderful idea. The question is, sit down and interrogate yourself. How many of those ideas have actually come to fruition? Little or none. Because all the energy required to nurture and grow that idea has been leaked out through our mouth. People don't care that much. People don't care that much. Sometimes what even made you quit is because you talked about it to another person. And sometimes when you see the person and the fact that you have not brought that idea into fruition, you feel disappointed and you feel like you're a failure. Sometimes the privacy required for you to feel, stand up and try again, has already been exposed by too much talk about the idea. So when people see you, they're asking you, "Hey, I thought you were going to mass. I thought you were going to the moon. They make mockery of you and they laugh at you because you've talked about everything. And depending on your self-esteem, it has the capacity to weaken you or to become a fool for you to move to the next level. In most cases, I would prefer that you don't even get to that point. God is also like that. There are certain assignments that God gives people, and He requires you to be confidential about it. Confidentiality is power. Confidentiality is strength. What happens to you in the place of confidentiality is that you build strength and you build capacity in private. When you emerge, the word is wow, and you actually attract the authentic people at that point. It is at that point that men come to your light and kings to the brightness of your rising. But the problem is that we don't want to arise and shine. What we want to do is to tell people about a light, is to talk about it, to talk about our light, to talk about the brightness of our rising. That is not how it works. Now, that is the interesting way. That is what everybody wants to get a thumbs up for. That is the ideal thing. Everybody wants to do it. That is the impressive thing to do. So tell people that you're great. To tell people that you have wonderful ideas. To tell people that you're not small. Talking about it is the lowest level. Learn to conserve that energy. Use that energy to nurture it. You see, when a woman is pregnant, there are certain things she can't do. Let's say there are certain things she does not do, even though she can do it, because she needs all the energy to incubate the child. And after 9 months, a new human emerges from a fluid. A fully formed human emerges from a fluid. If you leak the energy through your words, you miscarry. Many dreams and aspirations and many goals have been miscarried by too much talk, too much explanation, too much details about what you want to achieve. Learn to build in silence. Learn to build the capacity at the backside of the desert. When David was mastering the art of using the sling instruments, nobody was there to validate him. Nobody was there to give him thumbs up. He just had a responsibility and he responded to it and gained mastery. On the day Goliath showed up to contend with the people and bring shame to the people of God, a young guy emerged and looked at Goliath. He was big, very big, meaning that his capacity to hit Goliath, his level of accuracy shoots up because the target is very big. So while people were scared, David was seeing things differently because he has built capacity in silence, in privacy. When it was time to do battle, Saul gave him sword, gave him the armor. Dude said, no, please permit me to use what I have built capacity to use to deal with these things. He has built capacity. Everybody was shocked. Whoa, the sling instruments, that's what you want to use this time around? Okay, let's see how it goes. Saul permitted him, say, go ahead. We'll have a problem. And you can solve it. Whether you use the traditional way or the modern way, I'm fine with it. But at the end of the day, The most important thing is solve this problem. Would David had emerged if he was seeking validation? And if you interrogate his birth, you would understand that he was the one that was isolated. You will understand that he was the one that was not validated. You understand that he was the one that was not cared about. Just think about it. When it was time to anoint the king, God sent Samuel to the house of Jesse. And Jesse was asked to bring out his children. He didn't consider David significant enough to be presented. So you see, those challenges that you faced, those things that have trapped you down and kept you down, you're not the only person. From time immemorial, men have been isolated. Men have been disregarded. Men have been seen as insignificant. But those things have not been the reason why men failed. The reason why men fail is because they yield to it and they are down, while other people emerge as a result of the isolation, as a result of the lack of validation. It becomes a fuel and energy, gives them time and space to emerge. This is what I think every one of us must do. In seeking validation, you've wasted all your time trying to hang around certain people, trying to hang around certain personalities so that the fragrance of their influence can rub off on you. But you know it's not authentic, it's not you. There is you that God has destined. That you needs to emerge. Don't just talk about it. Don't just find yourself in a position where you're just speaking. David emerged after he killed Goliath. It was at that point people started saying, and even these same people that did not care about the guy at the backside of the desert started hailing him, to the point that the king became jealous and wanted to kill him. What if he had started first seeking validation of people without first of all paying attention and focusing on building himself and building capacity in his craft? What if he has put the cart before the horse? This race for validation, this race for approval has become the undoing of many of us. You don't need to be approved. What you need is the approval of God. That is the strength you need. That is the energy you need. That is the fuel you need. And a lot of scriptures, a lot of them, shows that God has approved of you. God's ordination has been confirmed in your life. God has ordained you a long time ago. Spend time brooding on these things. Spend time brooding on these things. Build in silence. Build in quietness. I don't mean build in isolation. No, far from it. I don't mean stop interacting with people. No, far from it. But in those interactions, only say what is necessary. You don't have to give every detail. You don't have to be an open book. Being a transparent person is not synonymous with being an open book. They are two different things. Being a transparent and sincere person, it has nothing to do with that. It's a difficult thing if you're talkative, if you have certain temperaments. But you see, it's something that is necessary. And hence, you need to build the discipline to make it work. Else you keep going around. You keep going around in life. You must not explain every detail. It's not important. Silence is powerful. It's one of the powerful dispositions that you must have. Learn to build quietly. Sometimes it is the attention that you attracted in your pursuit for that goal that destroyed your vibe, that destroyed the energy, that wasted your time. It is the viewpoint that showed up in your path that derailed you from achieving that goal, that derailed you from building that business. Learn to keep quiet and nurture and brood on ideas. Learn to incubate things in silence. People would really care, but that is after you've started making impact, not when you're talking impact. Don't get bitter because people don't care. Don't get angry because people don't care. Don't be vengeful because people don't care. Think about it. They have other responsibilities. They have their own responsibilities. Probably they are also nurturing their own child. And by child, I mean their dream. And they don't want to waste their energy discussing the details of your own pursuit. If you notice, the structure of a womb is such that it is enclosed. The real womb is not the stomach of the woman you see. It is so enclosed that the woman does not even see it. She feels it. Yeah. That's what she does. She gets the vibes that come from it. But she cannot even see it. Not to talk of when you expose it to every other person. Imagine an exposed womb. Obviously, for you to have a womb exposed, it simply means that the child would have died. That is what has been going on with your dream. You are exposing it to everything. The womb and that dream is so important to God that He hid it deep in the dark. Deep in the dark. That is, after a period of time, He emerges. Everybody celebrates. Everybody is happy. But no one knew what had happened for the past 9 months. Only the celebrants has an idea of what has transpired or what transpired. People always focus on the success. That is where people are. That's where you should be meeting people. That's where you should be meeting people. That's where you should be meeting people. At the junction of success, everybody's applauding. Most persons, that's where you find them. I want to encourage every one of you. Study to be quiet, minding your own business, build in silence. Learn to zip your mouth. When that dream emerges, nations will come to your light. People will show up. You don't need to beg for it. You don't need to bother yourself inviting people. They will be the one to line up. They will be the one to apply. You don't have to force yourself on people. Focus on building. As you're building, they will align. They will come to give thumbs up afterwards. God bless us and have a wonderful week. We'll see you next week. Bye.